Looking at exercise 718, even before odd. We're going to write a method called even before odd, and it accepts an array of integers and rearranges its elements. So we're not making a new array, we're rearranging it. Kind of messed me up at first. I'm going to redo it. So that all even values appear before our odds. So if we're given an array like this, it should look like this after it's called. And that's pretty much the instructions. We're not allowed to use temporary arrays or Arrays.sort to do this, so we really have to go through this. And if you think about it, this is kind of like a sorting algorithm problem. It's really you're sorting through things, and the easiest way to do this is just by going through each thing and seeing if it is even. So what we'll do, we'll have a for loop that runs through this entire thing. We'll have a condition to see if it's even. If it's even, we'll switch it out with whatever is here, and then we'll increment our counter, whatever we're looking at, to go to the next one, and that is pretty much it. We want to store a counter for the front of the array. Now, this is not going to be the front the entire time. It's going to be changing. It's going to be changing because we need to always update the next thing if our previous is even. So we have the counter for the front of the array. We'll do int, and we'll call this counter, and we'll just initially set it equal to 0. Now is where we have our for loop that runs through the entire array. So we'll have for, and then just some arbitrary int a is equal to 0, and a has to be less than our arr.length. Then we'll do a++. Now, inside of here is where we're going to have our condition. So if it is odd, we don't really need to do anything. We need to make sure it's even, right? Because we want to switch the evens with the next one we're looking at. So if the current element that we are looking at, modulus 2 is equal to 0, that means we don't have a remainder. That means we want to grab our current value. So let's say we're looking at 4 right here. We want to grab this value, and we want to put it right here. We want to swap it with 5. And this is good because our counter is currently at 0, so we have a way that we can kind of track this. We can do this. So let's store our initial value for the swap. We'll make a temporary variable, int temp. This is okay because it's a variable, not an array. The temp is equal to the current element that we are looking at. And then inside of here, we are going to say that our current index, so the one we just stored, we want to update it with our value that we're swapping it with. And our value is going to be at this first counter. And you're saying, well, counter is always 0. But this is not going to be the case. Every time we do this, after we do this, we're going to want to increment our counter. But let's do that when we are done here, because we also have to put in the index of the counter, because remember, we're swapping it. So if we ran through this the first time, right, counter is equal to 0, so nothing happens here. Let's say we start at 4. Our temp is going to be equal to 4. And then our, right here, our index 0 is going to be equal to the ARR counter. Counter is equal to 0. So if counter is 0, this is 5, right? Because this grabs this element here. So the element here is 5, and our counter, which is at 0, right? ARR counter should be equal to our temp value, because this updates it. Int temp is now stored in where we have our counter. Counter is 0, so it's stored at this 0th index. And we've set whatever our a is, because currently now it's 1, right? Because we went through the for loop the second time, so it's 1. Now right here is 5. Well, there was 4. Lastly, we just need our counter plus plus. We can end our if statement and our for loop and simply return our array. So return ARR. And we've passed 4 to 4 tests, so that is how I would do this problem, and that's the way we would code for it. Again, this is the main meat of it. What you're doing here is you're just swapping 2 of the elements. So you temporarily store an element right here, then you put the current element that is odd in that place, and then you swap it and put our temp into our counter, which is being incremented every time if it's even. Therefore, we rearrange it, and keep the original array.